Therapy roulette, consent event. Trauma disguised as comedy. Therapy roulette, consent event. If you don't have problems, then you're likely repressing shit and you should find a therapist who's not me.
Welcome to another episode of Therapy Roulette, Consent Event. Today I'm joined by my friend Shadia Sepehrnia. She is a writer, director, and creator of the web series Non-Crimes of Orange County. And she was on a previous episode of Therapy Roulette, so I thought we could catch up because I'm lonely and we all need to talk to our friends more in quarantine. So Shadia, how are you? How is your mental health doing? How's your current state of being?
Hi, Michele. It's been so long since I've seen you.
We do
So
FaceTime
sad.
occasionally.
It's been months, okay? It's been months.
In person, yeah.
It's been months. I feel it. Yeah.
I'm just avoiding
I
people
know.
altogether.
The time keeps going. Yeah, I know.
I'm only doing the virtual
It's been
hangs.
crazy, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. Virtual hangs are cool. I like the virtual hangs. Still getting used to it because I miss my friends.
And I'm planning
You know the weird thing, Michele?
what's
I didn't realize, like, how much social stuff was important to me until I didn't have it.
same. It's kind of
You
the
know?
undercurrent of our lives. Like, it's all we have to hold on to.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, like, I consider myself an introvert, so, like, I feel bad saying no to things, I don't really wanna do a whole lot, like, social, like, interactions, group stuff makes me nervous, so I'm always like, "Oh, how many people? Who's gonna be there?" But it's weird, once I don't have it, I didn't realize how much of a loss it was.
Like, do you feel zapped when you're hanging out with too many people? Like, your energy goes away?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I get in my head a lot and I'm just like, what do I say? What's funny? That person, what they said was really funny. How do I talk that? Like, I just get lost in my head.
Overthinking, like, in the moment where you're not really in the moment.
I'm just not in the moment, totally dissociated.
Mm.
And it's like it's usually with like yeah, it's like with a group of people. That's why the funny thing to me, like when people are like, "Come to my birthday party, let's hang at this party, like Halloween party," and people think that stuff is fun, but for me, I'm like, "Oh my god!" It's like worst case scenario of how do people think hanging out with big groups of people is fun? Like that just makes me more nervous.
Yeah, I used to in the before times, I feel like I would really try to plan out my social
Yeah.
hangs. Like I am a big planner, and I feel like you and I will be like, "Let's hang out Saturday. Let's do this Friday." Like we book it in the calendar. But then
We would
in
actually do it
quarantine,
too.
yeah, we would always follow through. But in
That's
quarantine,
what yeah, Michelle, you're really
I've
good at
lost
that.
a sense of purpose. So I've kind of been not planning and not following through in the
No,
pandemic.
that's why you need a planner. This thing
I have
saves
one.
lives.
I got one for 2021.
Oh my god, me too. Mine's is kinda dinky compared to the other ones, but, like, just writing in my schedule of, like, what I'm gonna do helps me so much.
The act of writing it down, seeing it on the
Yes,
page.
yes. I'm like, "There's things to look forward to." Like, your life is moving forward. It's not one massive hole.
Yes. And then also it gives you a sense of
Yeah.
control, like,
I love
"No, I'm planning the day. I can decide
January.
what I
I was
wanna
like, "I have to
do."
get a planner." Yes. Yes,
Would you
I'm like, "I
say
have
you
to get a
broke up a
planner.
little bit?
I need a planner." Like
Is
first week of
yours
January, I got a planner. I knew I needed it.
What's the style of your planner? Is it
Hmm?
beautiful? Is it, girly,
Well,
serious?
Michelle, honestly, compared to like all the other planners I have, which are ginormous, this one is pretty tiny. This is the smallest one I've ever had.
It's compact.
It's very compact. It's compact, but
Academic.
I figured I don't know what's gonna happen in 2021. It's the pandemic
Did you
planner.
have a planner when you were going to school as a kid?
Oh yes, I would write my TV shows in the planner,
Like, what to watch?
like what I was gonna watch. Yeah.
'Cause
I
mine
remember, like, I would write down movies too.
Did you write down your
Just
homework
such a
and your
nerd.
assignments?
Oh, yeah, for sure, but, like, I would write down movies I was excited about, like Lord of the Rings or, like, the next Harry Potter movie, and I would write it, like, 3 months in advance, and like I was like, must see this movie. This movie's important. Like
On
it's
the
just
day
such a nerd.
on the day it came out, or were you just like, in general, I have to watch it around this time? Like, did you know a day it was coming out? You
I knew, of
froze.
course, what day it was coming. I was gonna have to watch it on the weekend, and I
Okay.
would plan out my outfit too. Like I was like, I have to wear this shirt with this these jeans because people are gonna care. Legolas is gonna care that I wore a pink
Going
striped
to
shirt.
the
Like I
premiere.
planned. It wasn't even the premiere. It was probably like a week later or something. Yeah, it
It was
wasn't the
probably
premiere, and it was a matinee.
a social event with your friends, right? Like high school or whatever.
Watching No, I didn't really have anyone to go with to the movies, so it was just me, my sister. I would drag her to a lot of movies.
She counts too.
I don't know if people really like the movies I went to. She does, yeah. I watched a lot of movies as a kid, yeah.
Maybe you were too avant-garde for the other kids, like looking
You
into
know, I
better
really
films.
liked Quentin Tarantino movies. Yeah, like, this was before all the Marvel crap, sorry, that came out, and there was just
No
so
offense
much
taken.
great films coming out, like, so indie films.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love a good
no,
indie
indie
film,
films were just, like, booming and killing it.
like Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, and there were, like, female directors and, like, people of color directing, and it was like, "Oh my god, I have to watch this movie, like, it's gonna change my life," and I feel like that's changed so drastically now because they just come out a dime a dozen on Netflix, you know?
Well, they still
They
can
don't feel
change
like an
your
epic
life.
moment anymore.
They're not as carefully
No, for
crafted.
sure.
They're more mass produced now,
Yeah,
but they can still have that power. Like
yeah.
Soul, did you see Soul yet?
I did see Soul.
That's
I was
life-changing.
completely confused, Michelle. I didn't get the movie. I feel so dumb. Like little children probably understood it, but that movie like went past my head.
The whole
Yeah,
thing,
it
like,
was
you
too much.
watched the whole thing and then didn't get it?
No, I mean, I understood like little bits and pieces of it. Like the message was pretty obvious, but just the whole like the blob thing, why like Tina Fey was voicing Jamie Foxx, that didn't like that a whole lot. Um, I you know the weird thing, I love the beginning of the movie a lot. Like I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like a teacher, he's helping kids, that's great. And he's like, I hate my life. I don't want to do this. I was just like, man, this message was pretty sad. And then I knew something bad was gonna happen to him. It was really obvious because he's like, this one moment is gonna change my life. Like I have to do this. I have to be there. And you're like, oh shit, like something really bad's gonna happen. Because that's what Disney does. They always do that.
True.
They set you up for that misdirection.
Pixar does that. I
Yeah.
guess Pixar takes off where, like, the princess movies left off, where it's like tragedy must occur in order for us to cheer for this protagonist. Like, there's always a
Mhm.
deep tragedy somewhere in there,
Yeah.
whether it's in, like,
It was just
the
yeah, it
pre-story
was
or
so
the current
bleak.
story.
Yeah, the
It was
whole like
bleak,
him
but
dying.
I loved
I
it. Like,
loved it.
trying not to spoil the movie. If you haven't seen Soul, go see it, but I turned it off, and then Joseph turned to me, and he's like, "Do you wanna go write?" And I was like, "Yeah, I wanna go
Aw,
write." Like, I wanna go do what's important to me. Um,
aw.
and I agree with you, the voice, changing between characters,
What was the
that was
name of the
weird.
blob? It was like her name was like 11.
22.
Yeah, yeah. Some dash. I was like, what kind of character is that? That's so bizarre to me.
But I
Um,
think it was, like, based in science. I'm sure they had a research team, so I'm not
I'm sure
questioning
they
it.
did.
I think it was
It was
great.
a little too abstract, I guess, for me. Like,
It was
and
very
for
ethereal.
yeah, and I think it was a nice message at the end of it, but overall, I just was like, what's happening? What's going on? What world and dimension are they in? Yeah, it was a little jarring.
Um, so I wanna hear how you've been doing. How are you staying sane? How are you staying positive? What's getting you out of bed every day, Shadia?
Oh god. Well, what's getting me out of bed every day is reality television. I love
Thank
watching my
you
reality
for
television.
promoting God's work on the podcast.
I think people really need to like quit watching Pixar movies and start watching reality TV because there's some damn good stuff on there.
It
Really
kind of
good stuff.
it kind of grounds you a little bit. It puts you in the reality with them.
I almost feel like sometimes reality, it's on par with like scripted to me. Like the people on those shows are just so interesting and incredible, and their stories are just like you just lose yourself in it, and it's very well done. Like TLC does a really good job of, with their people, like their characters in a way. So I
Yeah,
love
you get
reality.
invested in the personal story. Like, I've been, catching up on 90 Day Fiancé,
Yeah, you get lost in the stories.
and I find myself, like, wanting more.
Yeah.
I want more out of the characters. I wanna know everything about them. They're not characters, they're real people, but I wanna know, like, do they have children? Like, who is their family? Like, where do they come from? And then we don't really get into that unless it's one of those, more trashy, exploitive families, but some of the people really keep it private, and I'm like, "I wanna know everything."
Oh my god, sometimes I go on their Instagram and I check the Insta I don't even have Instagram and I check their Instagram.
Do you
Yeah,
check
because I
them
need to know in real time.
Do you check them deep on the web? Like, do you go on Reddit or do you listen to, like, other 90 Day Fiancé
Yes,
content?
yes. That's why I signed up for Reddit. That's why I'm on Reddit. Yes, it's such a good hobby. It's
It's just
wonderful.
so addictive because it's all about love and, like,
Mhm.
soulmates, and then it's also about cheating and lies, and you're like, "Oh my god, how could it turn so bad when it started so good?" And I can't look away.
It's really I love, like, the family dynamics too, like, when they open the parent and the long lost sibling or the daughter that they ignored. It's just like it's very interesting, and it just kind of like you obviously you relate, and at the same time you're like, oh, thank God that's not me.
Yeah, it does make me feel better about myself, which Joseph says is unhealthy, but I get a lot out of it.
Oh no, that's perfectly healthy. I think that's why we watch reality is because we're like, oh, thank God it's not me. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
I could see that.
do find myself concerned for the people on 90 Day Fiancé, but also, like, they're having their moment in the spotlight, and they can
Mhm,
watch this
mhm.
footage back. They're watching, like, footage of people lying, cheating, fights, like, they could learn a lot about their future spouse by watching the footage, so they are getting something out of it, some kind of psychology results.
Unfortunately, a lot of it is fabricated, which is what I've learned from
With
Reddit.
the edits, it's all
Mhm.
edits.
Well, I think they act some stuff out a little bit because you see, like, their relationships are really rocky on the
I don't
show.
think so.
No, they do, because then on
I feel
Instagram,
like
everything's fine. So
What
they
have you heard?
definitely
Because I feel like they might feed lines to people to get a conversation started, but I can't see much of this being fabricated. It's
Well,
so
okay, I'll tell you.
terrible.
Okay, do you know the
So
storyline
it's
of,
so bad.
no. Do you know the storyline of Asuelu and Kalani?
Yes, I'm in that season. Don't tell
Yeah.
me the ending.
Okay. Well, I'll just give you a broad overview. I'm not gonna tell you the ending. But, like, on the
I'm toward
show
the end.
okay, on the show, like,
Like,
they don't get along, right? Like, she is really pissed at
yeah.
him, and he's not a very good father on television. So,
Yeah.
there's
He's also
lives from a lot.
he's very broken English. Like, I don't think he
Mhm.
understands much about America, so I feel like he gets
Yeah.
fed lines.
They seem they seem like they're total opposites. Like, you're just like, "Why are they together? It doesn't make sense." And then if you go on
Kalani
Instagram.
looks like she looks like a Kardashian woman, like, she is trying to be a beauty queen, and then Asuelo is like, "Oh, I'm so grateful
Man,
I
he's
get
kinda
food to
dopey.
eat." He's not coming from much.
It's but that's what I'm saying, like, it's fabricated, like, how mad they are at each other and why. Because then you
It
see 'em
can't be fabricated.
realize everything's
Kalani
fine.
Kalani's crying all the time.
Oh, it's fabricated.
and I'm like, I don't think they have deep conversations
I
on
think
the
she finds
regular. I think
him
it's just because they're
really
the producer.
charming. Like, she thinks he's funny. I don't
He's the only
know.
guy she's been with, and then he's the baby
Yeah.
daddy, so, like, she's roped in to whatever that is.
That's the thing they're
And he was charming
saying.
in the
I get
airport
it.
when he
He's
did the
probably
little
not the only guy she's been with. They just say that on the show. Gosh, yeah,
okay, that
as much.
fits with her Kardashian profile. "No, I'm pure until marriage or until baby." She's the Mary in the family.
Oh,
But
that's
I think
true.
The Instagram news, there's some truth to it, but it's too
Mhm.
realistic for me to buy that it's all fake.
No, no, let's not believe that. That would just ruin it completely.
Are you watching any other good TV, reality, or non-reality?
Mm. I started watching this show. Well, I finished it because I binge watched it. It's called Love Life on HBO Max with Anna Kendrick. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't heard.
So each episode she dates a new guy. So the premise of the show is it's kind of like a I would say it's like an anthology because the whole of life is you have like two great loves in your life. It takes a certain amount of time. You have a number of flings. So this is basically like her love life until she finds the one, her journey to finding the one. So each episode is her
So
dating
all
a
the
new
way
guy.
through,
So each
all the
episode, she's dating a
decades.
new guy, and our job is to kind of figure out, is this guy like her person? They keep saying that, her person. Who's her person? And so each episode you watch, I think it's like 40 minutes, so it's very quick. It happens in New York, Michelle. So
Okay.
I think you'll like that.
I do wanna watch
Um,
more New York content because my heart is just, like,
yes,
broken.
I love anything in New York. I'm just like, God, I wish I could work on that because that's like the dream.
I miss it
But
so much. Everything to me looks like New York Street at CBS, and it probably is,
oh,
but I want real
no.
New York.
I know, it's so pretty, and it reminds you of, like, pre-COVID where, like, people hung out in bars and, they had a good time.
Because
Yeah,
you
so
live
each episode
street.
I know, I just it's sad. But yeah, each episode she's dating a new guy, and you're trying to figure out who is it, who's her person. Um, and it's a very interesting show. But,
So
like,
is he one of those guys, or do they wait till the end?
so yeah, so that's the thing. It's pretty much solved by the end of the show, the end of the season, find out who her person is. And so I think they're coming back with next season, but it's not going to focus on her. It's going to focus on a guy. So I think it's like an anthology. But the thing is like it's a very primitive way of looking at female characters. The fact that the creator is a guy didn't really like that a whole lot. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Like, it should be a woman if this is called Love Life and it's about a woman's love life. Shouldn't the creator be a woman? Yes, she
Yeah.
should.
I mean, you can write in the opposite gender, but then it's like, how well do you really know the inner workings of their minds? I question that.
Yeah, and this showrunner didn't really have credits under his name too, so I was like, what? Why did he get this? But Anna Kendrick's the EP, and it's just kind of like there's not a dimension to her. Every story is told through the lens of like her dating a guy, so you don't really know what she wants to do in life, what are her aspirations, who she wants to be. It's all reflected through the prism of her being in a relationship. And it's like, what the hell? This is 2021. Like, it feels very
You
trying to be
don't
Sex in the City to me.
you don't get her whole story that way. You just get like her dating persona.
Well, you do get her neurotic mother, which of course you have to put in there, right? Like women don't like their mothers. So,
Yeah, if
like,
you're gonna get married, that comes with it.
that's right. You're gonna get the narcissistic mother.
Yeah,
Um,
it's such a
so
trope.
yes, it's like people's sometimes it's like, do you live in a vacuum? Like, how can we keep telling the same stories over and over again?
Mm.
And with something like this, you hope that like, okay, this
Like,
is
why
gonna be
can't she
fresh.
have a neurotic grandfather or like a depressed uncle who's like really into her love life? I don't know. Let's change it up a
Totally.
little bit.
Exactly, especially for something like this when you see, like, an actress that's kind of, like, taking charge, she's leading the show, so it's like, I would hope that you would make the
She has
choices.
to Anna Kendrick has to believe in it if she's the EP.
And that's true. That's true. It makes, I don't know, like she's good on the show, but it definitely felt like it was trying to be Sex in the City, and it takes place through like the 2000s till now, I think. So it's like it's definitely a jump. You have to be like, hey, what happened in the year? What did we get? Was that Snapchat? I don't remember.
Does
Yeah,
that
it's like
add to
a
it? Like, do you feel like you're in 2010 or whatever they're trying to do? Because I feel like they're not that different from year to year.
a little bit. Exactly. They're not very different. You can mostly tell by like her haircuts.
It's not as
But like as
shocking.
usual, you're like, how can you afford an apartment in New York when she's a caterer or something like that? And it's
Yeah,
just like, isn't it really expensive?
like Emily in Paris, like, you can't
Yeah,
afford to live in
it's
Paris, but
bizarre. But I mean, I think, oh my God, I hate that
but
too. That was
are
awful.
the
Yeah, no.
are the people
This was
she's
better
dating
than Emily.
was better? It has to be better from what I've heard about Emily in Paris. I have not watched it.
Um,
Are the people
God,
that
Emily.
Anna Kendrick dates, are they, like, all losers,
Hmm,
or do they have some redemption qualities?
That's a great question, Michelle. Well, they're pretty much all losers. And here's the thing, she dates her boss. So it's like check, check mark
Boring.
there. She dated the chef. It was my favorite story. But of course they blew him up because they can't have him. It's like,
Like, they
damn it.
can't book him?
The one guy like can't keep him because you need to like shake it up.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just no. I don't know.
But that's
It's one of those
also
things where
boring. Like, they're all loser guys. Are there some problems with Anna Kendrick? Like, she can't be perfect.
it's so true. But they don't really talk about that. You don't really know who she is as a person. That's the thing. Like it's all
Right.
reflected through these guys, and because each episode's a different guy, it kind of stinks
There's
watching it because you're like, you know it's gonna
there's
be
the male
over.
showrunner.
Yeah, you know
There's
it's
the
gonna be
male
over in
gaze.
40 minutes. Yeah, so you're like, okay, I can't get attached to this guy because she's gonna find a way to like sabotage this and it's not gonna work out. So it's kind of like the formula becomes a little too predictable.
The beauty of dating, though, is, like, most of the dates won't work out. Like, you go into it being like, "Well, this is just another day." So, like, not having so much seriousness applied to it, that feels
Yeah, and it
real.
tries to be a comedy too, which it really isn't funny at all, which is unfortunate. It
Good.
tries. There's no comedy at all.
I always listen to comedy podcasts, and it's so funny to hear their reviews of comedy that's coming out
Mhm,
on platforms.
mhm.
They're always like, "Well, I wouldn't call it funny," but, like, it tried, there was one joke. I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
just so hard to be funny in the present day, like, all the
Yeah.
comedians are like, "Did you show up and film your thing? Good job." It doesn't have to be
Especially
funny
when
anymore.
yeah, especially when it's, like, half hour too. Um, it just, like, you could tell it was trying to be funny, but wow, it was not funny. So it's like, what kind of genre is this? It's too serious, and it's not good in the that's the thing with drama, it has to be really good. And you don't have the comedy, you don't have the drama, then what is it? It's just people living, I guess.
So do you recommend it?
Obviously, yes. I say it's
As
a
a
good
case
quarantine
as a
show.
case study of, like, what did they do wrong?
I would definitely here's the thing, if I wasn't in quarantine, would I watch it? No.
Yeah, I feel the same about 90 Day Fiancé. It's only because 'cause I'm, like,
No, Michelle, don't ever say that. That's not true.
but I hope it's
Of
true. I
course you'll
can't
watch
keep
it.
watching the show, Shadia. There's too
Yes, you
many
can.
seasons. There's too many
Mhm.
spinoffs.
You can do it. It is worth it. But yeah, there are quarantine shows where you're like, "Okay, I'm just get lost in this," and because I have nothing else.
Do you
Love
find
the
do you
first
find,
one.
like, do you ever feel bad if you're watching too much TV? Because I criticize myself for watching too much TV. I'm like, "You should be doing stuff, and you should be answering your emails." Like, I'm always criticizing myself for not being productive. So are
Mhm.
you able to actually relax and, like, enjoy when you're trying to relax and watch TV?
That's a great question. It's really hard with reality watching because You can find like half the day is gone. You're like, what the hell? Like, how did this go by? Um, so
Especially
I
the way
try
the
to be
episodes queue up and
productive
they're
at
like,
least
here you go.
once. Yes. Yes, these people are smart. All these apps and shit, they just like keep going to the next one, to the next one. You're like, well, I guess I do want to know the rest of the story. But the
Do
story's
you try
11
to
hours long.
do you try to get something productive done before or after you watch TV?
So it's funny. I'm like half. Sometimes I'll do like TV in the beginning of the day, and then I'll try to be productive at night. Or I'll flip it around where I'll be productive in the morning, and then at night I'll be like, okay, I get a treat. I get to watch TV. I do need to stay away from reality, though. It's really bad.
Well, it just gets you sucked in because you're like, wait, I think these people are real. I want to see everything that happens to them. And then you're like, really, your claws are in.
Yeah, like, it's funny with movies, I've been watching a lot of movies, and I can get lost in movies, but with reality, it's almost like you're right, because it's real life, you're just even more absorbed that you can't, like you have to physically, like I have to turn off the television and tell myself no before I can, like, get in the mindset of, like, "Okay, I'm a person again."
Especially
My brain is in
with
flood.
a show like 90 Day Fiance. The show is an hour and a half long.
Oh my god, I
You're
know,
giving
and
that
then there's, like,
so much of your life if you're not
dialogues.
doing anything else. It just
Yeah.
drives me crazy. Where I'm like, I've been on the couch for 3 hours.
It's okay, it's okay, it's quarantine time, we can
I
do
know,
that.
but how long can I tell myself that when we're hitting the year mark of quarantine?
Oh my god, we are, aren't we?
But I'm
It's
glad
coming up.
you sound like you're able to actually relax. I have trouble relaxing, working on it, but I feel like small doses of TV are where I'm happier. I don't like to binge for too long.
Okay, that's very healthy then, that's good. I binge, like binging.
Hope
I
so.
have to.
I just don't like to relax for too long. It makes me anxious. Do you have you
No,
seen
but I
that?
don't know, it feels like this whole time is vacation.
Mhm. Have
Say
you
that
seen
again?
that? Have you seen that documentary, The Social Network? Is that what it's called? The Social Dilemma.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, it was creepy, huh?
Did that scare you?
Yes, it sure did.
Because now I find
Really
myself
did.
on any social media, but especially something like Facebook, where I'm like, I don't even know why logged on to Facebook. Like, I don't know what the benefit of Facebook is anymore, but I'm
Yeah.
on it. I scroll, I keep scrolling, and I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, this is just the social dilemma. Mark Zuckerberg planned it this way, and he wants to take all my brain cells and feed off them forever.
I try to limit my social media. Like when I go on Facebook, I'll be like, okay, I'm only going to be on here for 5 minutes. And I'll like look at the clock and make sure that I don't stay on there too long. Facebook's like a really good resource for like jobs and like spying on
It
people.
is.
Like, you
That's the
need that
problem.
sometimes. Yeah, no, you
It's
need that
really good
sometimes.
for our, like, creative pursuits because there's comedy groups, there's writing groups, there's
Oh yeah.
people we worked with have created groups, and I'm like, "Oh, I could talk to people and make work connections," but then I have to scroll past everyone's innermost thoughts and pictures of their dogs, and I don't wanna do that at the same time.
Yeah, I do it for like a little bit, or I'm like, oh, I'll comment and be like, that's cute, congratulations. I'm excited you're getting married, like all the life stuff. But like, I won't get into like the every single day of like what everybody's doing because that's just too much information.
And then the algorithm is trying to tell me, like, who they think I'm closest to and tell me everything they've done on Facebook in the past 24 hours, and I'm like, "I don't wanna know that,
Yeah.
Shadia posted an update at 3 a.m. Let me find it on my own."
I would never do that because I'm not on there. But thank you.
Well, I'm saying I don't like how they notify you of, like, your friends'
Oh, yes.
constant updates.
Yeah, all that story stuff. Like they're like, this person liked this. And I'm like, but I don't care.
Yeah, how
Why
does
why
that
does it
affect
matter?
me?
It's almost like you're tracking people's lives, and it's like, I don't wanna do that.
'Cause that's what Facebook is doing, so I guess they're kind of letting you know. They're like, "Hey, we stalked Shadia all night, and, like, maybe you'd like to know she posted a picture." And I'm like, "Let me just figure it out. Let me talk to Shadia myself. Why
Thank
must
you,
you be in
Michele.
my head, Mark Zuckerberg?"
Yeah, and it's a red hole. So I'm like, no, I don't really need to. I was on it a lot more before the pandemic, just because like boring life stuff when you're like waiting in line or like, at like a checkout, I would be on social media just on it 24/7. And now I wiped it off my computer. I don't have it on my iPad. I mean, I wiped it off my phone. So anytime I go on it, it's on my computer, and I'm only
You're
on it for
stronger
like
than
a
I
little
am.
bit. Yeah,
I can't take it off my
I
phone.
suggest taking it off. Take it off your phone. If you take it off your phone, you will be using it a lot less. That's
Yeah.
where they get you, is the phone.
Maybe I'll try it on days when I'm not promoting the podcast. It could be nice.
Yeah, it's a big relief not to be checking it all the time, because I was almost checking it to the point of like it was like a nervous habit. I just always had to know. I'm like, what do I need to know? Like,
It's
I
like,
just recently
what did you do before the phone? Like, what would you do when you were bored?
I don't know. I recently deleted Reddit off my phone because like my eyes were hurting and I was getting headaches reading like posts. I
Yeah.
would read posts for hours, like before bed, read posts, and I had to delete it. And like I'm using my phone a lot less now.
If I go on Twitter before bed, I'm like up for an hour. I can't if I'm that vulnerable, I'm like, "Oh, just about to go to sleep. Let me just check Twitter because the lights are still on." And then I'm on it
No,
for
Twitter's
so
the
long.
worst. Twitter is the worst one.
Twitter is
I
the
remember I
worst,
used to be,
but it's my
yep,
favorite.
Twitter is terrible because I would be on my phone all the time at night, right before I go to bed. I'm like, what am I looking up? It was just like you said, it was the algorithm of just constantly checking, checking, checking.
The scrolling never stops. Like, you get to the end, it just refreshes. And then if
And
it
the whole
does
like
stop, then you feel so shitty because 'cause you're like, "I ran out of Twitter. What is wrong with me?"
never run out of Twitter.
But
But also like I think
that
it
might be
was
more of a
like
Wi-Fi.
Donald Trump. Well, the Trump presidency too, like you always had to be on alert all the time.
Yeah.
And Twitter was where you would read the news.
Like,
So
we still have to stay alive by reading the news because 'cause we're in the pandemic, but with Trump gone, at least we don't have to be like, "Oh, are we in a nuclear war yet?" At least we can,
I
like, tone it
don't
down
have
a little.
to I don't have to watch the news every single day and know what's happening every single moment, which is such a
Mhm.
release. It's nice.
Yeah, I've started clearing the CNN notifications. I'm like, "Let me just check it when I can." I don't need 14 notifications the second I wake up.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's too much. So,
It's a
do you
lot,
wanna
but like with Biden,
spin
it's a little better.
I know, oh my god,
Mhm.
thank you for President Biden and Kamala. We're on such a better path. That was, like, the best day of my life, Inauguration Day. I was like, "I feel like I've lost
Oh,
100 pounds." I feel so much lighter.
yeah.
So, we
You don't
have to
even know.
be
Every day I would listen to the news every night of like, what's happening? What's going on? Who's in trouble now? And now it's like, oh, I can back away, Just let them do their
yeah.
thing. It's gonna be okay.
I still like listening to the news. I like to put it on Alexa and do it like, listen to the news while I'm cooking or do the dishes, but I feel like I'll be screaming a lot less and, like, getting in fewer fights with Alexa, so it'll be better. I will be like, "Fuck you, Mitch McConnell," every 5 seconds because hopefully he has less influence now that he's
Yes,
minority leader.
minority leader. Woo! Hello,
He's
2021.
strong. He shrunk
Yay.
a few sizes. Do you wanna spin a wheel question?
Oh, okay.
Give
There's a
you
wheel.
give you a wheel.
Okay. Did you make this wheel?
That was a weak spin. No, I bought it and put it together with my own hands, but
Okay,
I
but
bought
you
it
wrote it.
from Amazon.
Oh no,
Okay,
Michelle, not
we
Amazon.
can do this we can do this one. I've done it recently, so you can pass if you want. Tell me about what you're wearing and why you chose that outfit.
Okay, well, wearing a Frida, well, you can't see.
Oh,
Frida
Frida!
Kahlo. Frida. I wore her today. Felt like it was a Frida day, you know?
Wait, tell me,
Hmm.
who is Frida? I know she has a movie with Salma Hayek, but I don't really know who she is.
Wait, what do you know about Frida?
She has the one eyebrow,
Okay.
and she's culturally significant, but I'm not sure why. Is she an artist?
Yeah, you don't know anything about Frida Kahlo?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. I thought you were joking.
Teach me.
Yeah, so Frida Kahlo, she's a very important, like, artist. She's married to Diego Rivera.
Okay, so
And now, like,
I
there's
would have
kind
gotten
of
it right on Jeopardy.
she's really famous for doing, like, a lot of self-portraits, and
Mhm.
obviously she has the famous one eyebrow. But yeah, she died young. She had premature death. I think she had a lot of health problems. But she was really important in, the art world, and now she kind of came back, I think a lot. She's kind of more in the culture a little bit more of like her image, and you can see her on everything, like aprons, dolls. Um, but I just really like this shirt. Like, it's just to me like she's a really powerful, strong woman. And I like to represent that.
Sure. More power to the strong women who've paved the way.
Exactly. I feel a little bit more like, yeah, she could do it. I could
How did
do it.
you learn about her? Was it from the movie? Because that's the first time I heard about her.
Well, I was an art history minor in
You
college.
were?
So yeah, so I found out about her through there first for my art classes.
Shadia, you have so
I
many
think
degrees. I had no idea.
yeah, that's where my love of film comes from, Michelle. Art history, clearly.
That
Yeah,
those
you tell
3
me.
classes you had to take to get the minor enriched your mind with film.
They sure did. They taught me. Actually, they did. It's funny. Side note, when I do like a short film or a movie or whatever, I actually go back to paintings that I really love, and I'll sometimes send my DP paintings from like certain painters, certain time periods where I'm like, I really love the composition or the color or the lighting. That's kind of where it starts from for me. So art was really, really important, and I mean, I love those classes, and they were more than three.
I'm joking.
I loved them.
I didn't do a minor, so I have no reference.
Oh, I tried to do a double major, but UCI wanted to kick me out. They're like, "You're a bio major, you gotta go."
No time for a double major.
No, bio majors were so impacted, they wanted people to graduate quicker. So they were like, "Yep, you gotta go. You gotta go." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll take the minor." But yeah, great classes though. I love those classes.
At least you got the minor out of it, and that's so cool. It still stays with you where you, like, put it in your today films. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so much great history, and I mean, the artists themselves are characters too. So, learning about their lives is and what made them, make art in that way, why, it's pretty cool.
That's so cool. I should look at more art. I feel like I have to go back to college and educate myself because my brain has been melting for too long. I
Oh,
have to spend more time
wow.
learning things.
Well, I mean, I think the Louvre does like an online tour you can do, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool.
That's
Oh,
awesome
love the Louvre.
because 'cause we're not
It's
going
so
to
pretty.
Europe anytime soon, so let's tour
You're
online. I think
true.
I was
Every
reading about that maybe in the New York Times where they were like, "You don't have to spend the next day on your couch. You could, visit a museum virtually. You can vacation virtually," is what people are trying to say now. And you know what? I'm down to
you
try
could
it.
take a class at Harvard.
I
You could do so
know.
much now.
I would love to believe I could do that. Maybe I'll give it a try. I have to have the confidence.
No.
Yes, you can do it. You could show up to that virtual class.
Oh my god, you totally could. You totally could.
Throw on my blue light blocking glasses, call it a day. I would love to, like, learn something productive. That is a goal I have for this year. So, I've been wanting to learn more about politics and history. Um, I feel like I know about modern art, but I could learn a lot more about the art that came before us for sure.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I actually am totally averse to modern art. Like,
Is it
yeah,
just too
it's so
cool for you?
terrible. I don't know why. I'm the same way with books too. Like, I love reading
Mhm.
books, but I don't like reading modern books. So everything I read is like usually classic.
I think you're
Until I
more of a
realized
classics person.
I really
Like, you were
am.
recommending John Steinbeck, which is a classic, so
Yeah. Did you read that yet?
No, it's too big. I have to, like, buy the physical
No.
book. I tried to download it
Oh,
on my phone, and I
yeah,
couldn't get into
yeah.
it.
It didn't work?
I didn't give it a real shot. It's on my list. I'll get to it
It's like
for sure,
500 pages, but it's so good.
which I can do. I'm reading nonfiction books, like self-help
Mhm.
slash not I'm not reading fiction right now, so I need to, like, make room for it.
Yeah, I'm reading, like, film books now, which I've never done before until quarantine. So,
Mhm.
like, I just bought a bunch of film books on Amazon. I found a bookstore, a thrift bookstore, because I refuse to give Amazon any more money in quarantine.
I know, I've really
Um,
been this wheel is not a good example, but I've been curbing my Amazon purchases. I promise people.
but yes, yeah, we should not be giving Amazon any more money.
I know, I'm
Tell
working
me.
on it. Joseph could do better, I think, but we're working on it together.
I understand it's convenient, but still,
Yeah.
still. Yeah, but there's just, like, so many books to read,
So where did you
and I'm
find the
just like
bookstore?
it's called Thrift Bookstore. Just
Mhm.
Google bookstores, and, they
I
give
know
you they
Bookshop is good too, and IndieBound all, like, connect you with indie bookstores.
yeah, Thrift does, like, they're all used books, and they're all cheaper, and it's, like, a pretty good resource, like, I'm like, "Why would I go to Amazon anymore?" You
Yeah.
know, it's, like, $2 more than Amazon.
Why pay the Scrooge McDuck any more money?
And I still go to the library, I still get books from the library, so,
You're going to
I'm
visit the
trying
library?
to well, I go to pick them
Oh,
up.
curbside.
Yes, curbside, yeah, it feels normal for, like, 5 minutes, I'm like, "Yes, the library, I used to do
Yeah.
this."
I love the
So it's
library. I,
exciting.
like, grew up at the library,
No.
and I've been using the Libby app,
Yep,
which is, like, the library card app,
mhm, I should do
so it's
that.
been super
Uh-huh,
helpful, and I actually finished the books on my phone because 'cause I'm always on like, my phone's always on my hip or something, so I will pick
mhm.
it up, open my Kindle, open my Libby app, and read on my phone. I think with something like John Steinbeck, though, 500 pages, I don't know if I can get into it, but something lighter, some, like, comedian's biography, it's a little bit easier to read.
I can't read on my phone, I need a physical copy of a book, like, I just
'Cause
need
you're
to
old
hold the book.
school. You're like a
Yeah,
purist,
I am.
which is why your love of reality television is so confusing. It doesn't go with you at all, Shadia.
We all have our flaws, okay?
It's not a flaw, it's just like a dichotomy you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And I just wanna comment on the bookcase in your quarter, it looks so
Oh,
nice
no.
and
Oh,
intelligent.
thanks. You know, the funny thing is, like, this bookcase is way too small, so I have, like, books stacked on books, and I'm like, "Oh, shit, I
It is
need,
a
like, 2
narrow
or 3."
bookcase.
It's just too small.
Mhm.
I need more.
You can't buy any more books, you're done.
Oh, God, that's
So you
probably
gotta
true.
trade them out or upgrade to more space.
Exactly. I'll get another one.
I'm glad you're keeping the library alive, more people should use the library.
I know, it feels like there's only children and older people that go to the library.
Mhm.
Like, what the hell? Where's the age gap?
'Cause they both have so much time. They're not working.
That's true, that's a good point, actually, yeah, but you
And
can still read.
the rest of us are watching YouTube videos, like, "I'll just learn on YouTube," like, no patience to read an actual book.
I know, there's so much good stuff on YouTube also, like, I learned everything from there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect in a pinch when you're like, "I don't know how to wash my dishes. How do I do that, YouTube?" And then they teach you.
How do you do laundry?
Mm,
Go on YouTube.
yeah. How to pop a
How to make
zit. Don't
how
go
to
on
make scrambled
YouTube, it's
eggs.
pornographic.
Yep. Oh, ew, no.
Yeah, it's too much.
Good.
But there's good stuff on there. I have been upgrading my dishwashing game and, like, general household things where I'm like, "Let me clean every crevice and find out the best way to do that from YouTube."
Gosh, I've been, like, buying so much kitchen, like, gadgets and stuff because 'cause I'm like, "Well, if I get the digital scale, then I need to get the bench scraper. If I get the bench scraper, then I need this thing." Like, it doesn't stop. I have a
Bench
problem.
scraper.
Yeah, it's for baking. I love it so
Okay.
much.
Oh, the bread you baked? So beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like the
thank
perfect
you.
artisanal loaf.
Thank you.
You've really mastered it. You're welcome. I want some. I wanna bake bread again. I've, like, given up. It was mostly Joseph doing it, but we've given up as a team. We have to get back to baking bread.
Oh, what made you give up?
Like, time and, I think I was getting very sad about the constant mess. So but now it's clean, so
Mm,
we're ready to get
yeah.
it messy again.
Yeah, it's true. It is a lot of mess.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
flour. So much flour.
And flour gets on everything and everywhere.
And I hate the way it feels. Like, I don't like touching it for too long. It's too much. But if you can do it, the more power to you.
I like touching it.
You like
Fun.
the
Yeah. I need to do something tactile.
being immersed in it. I just like clean hands,
Yeah.
but that's my own problem.
That's probably like no, I think, like, it makes sense. Like, if you're a very clean, neat person, you probably don't wanna do, like, baking and cooking because it's very, like, disorganized and there's, like, stuff everywhere all the time.
Yep, I'm semi-clean. I think it's more like the kitchen has to be clean for me. So baking and cooking is a struggle, but I've been doing it so much in quarantine, and it's not gonna stop altogether.
Do you enjoy washing
No,
dishes?
no.
Oh,
I like when
really?
they're clean.
Oh my gosh. I don't mind. It's
It's not
fun.
fun. That's a crazy thing to
But
say.
it's fun. I like I like cleaning dishes.
I think the finish act when they're hanging on the drying rack or they're put away, then I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're done." But actually watching them,
Putting them
I feel like
away.
I'm, like, losing my soul in the process. I feel like it's way too much time
Really?
invested.
I love washing, but I don't like putting away.
So then we should just
I
work
hate it.
together.
I think we can. We can figure out
Alright, this
something.
is our next, web series project, dishwashing.
You have to be in it,
Okay,
Michelle.
but do I have to wash dishes?
You have to wash the
Alright, for the sake of
dishes.
the art, I will do it. Well, Shadia, I don't wanna keep you. It's been so nice catching up. Do you have anything you wanna say to the listeners or promote your socials or anything?
No, just, keep on keeping on, and yeah, we'll get through this too.
Stay strong, people. We'll get through it. Thank you, Shadia.
Yeah.